Yeah, Sarah.
I
What
just
do you
want to
want?
rant. It's just, I've said it a million times. Okay? But I'm so sick of it. I'm just so sick of it. Okay? First of all, I don't find this storyline between Gunther and Jey Uso interesting. I just don't. It's the same thing that we saw when he was going for the Intercontinental Championship. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing of like, I need to prove myself. I need to prove that I'm not just a tag team guy. I want to have a singles championship. Like, blah blah blah. Like, it's just like not interesting anymore to me as someone who's not like a big Jey Uso fan. Like, obviously I appreciate, like, obviously he's killing it, but as someone who doesn't actively sit there and cheer for him, like, I'm not invested in that anymore. Like, if I had any emotion for that, it's gone because you already won the Intercontinental title. um and I feel like this is a fine one-off for Gunther. Clearly they're not going to have him at the Rumble, or if he's there, he's not going to be participating in anything, so they're doing this at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
But I'm getting sick of them making him look weak. And the biggest problem that I have with it is that they did not do that at all through NXT. And they did not do that at all when he was Intercontinental Champion. So I take issue with it that now he has the biggest title in the land, and now we're seeing him get like nervous. Now we're seeing a Jey Uso like slap him in the face and like push him out of the ring. Like, this feels backwards to me. It feels like if this was going to happen, this should have happened when he had the smaller championship that he then made gigantic, rather than like, oh, he's the guy on Raw and now he's like getting his ass handed to him by a guy in like skinny jeans. Like, I don't dig it. I don't dig it at all. And I know I say this all the time. I try to just be like, okay, it's fine, whatever.
You try to get down with the yeet, but
I'm not down with the yeet. I'm team no yeet. I like Big Jim. But I'm trying not to care about it. It's just that it's like, I think as somebody who is a big fan of Gunther, and I've said, like, again, I've said it a million times, the fact that he's has great matches, so this has nothing to do with matches, but he's had a mediocre title reign so far. They haven't given him like proper feuds or storylines. Like, he just keeps getting given these like random people to have matches with, and then they're making him look like an idiot. Like, that's the problem that I have. It's not working for me. It's not looking like he's this dominant scary guy that people should fear because he's the champion the way that they did when he was Intercontinental Champion. And I don't understand why you would do the complete opposite when he has a bigger title now.
okay. I am kind of on the other side of the fence here.
I know you're always on the other side.
But here's the thing, but not because I believe that Jey Uso is going to dethrone him.
Yeah, Jay, in the comments, we see you. Gunther doesn't suck. Sorry.
He doesn't suck. And that's
no
a
matter
great
how many
transition.
times you come in the chat and say it, it's not going to make it true.
And that's a great transition, Jay, into my point that Gunther doesn't suck. Gunther needs to have wins and dominant wins over guys like Jey Uso. It will only strengthen the aura that is Gunther. It will only help his title reigns. No, you think he's losing because Jay is doing a fantastic job right now in that role. And you have to think too, what the hell is Jey Uso gonna do with a world title right before the Royal Rumble in Build to Mania season when he's not your top 3 biggest star in the company? And star, I don't mean fan favorite. I don't mean merch seller. I mean star. He's not it. It's Gunther.
That's the argument to be made. That just because the fans love you and you can get an entire arena to like do your entrance, that does not mean you are the face of the company or that you should be the world champion. You know what I mean? Like, you're super over, you sell t-shirts, fans love you. That doesn't then translate into like, yes, give them all the titles. Like, that's not how this works. So
here's what I found. Sorry to cut you off, but I've been looking
fine.
for this to strengthen my whole argument of just because Gunther's reign has seemed a little bit boring right now, we're still pretty early on into it. And if you look at his title reigns in other companies and even in the sub companies within WWE, he was UK champion for 870 days. He was Intercontinental champion for 666 days. He is world heavyweight champion for currently 172 days. When you look, and then before that, Progress unified as Walter. I forget where Progress is. I think it's in Europe. Uh, Whatever, it doesn't matter. Point is, that title reign was 417 days. Gunther is not someone who just has like a 100-day title reign and it's over. Like,
Mhm.
that's not
Well,
who
I'm not
Gunther slash Walter is
that's
for
not
the
something
people, not
yeah,
for
no, it's
you,
not
for
something
the
I'm
peeps.
concerned about. Like, obviously, a part of me is like, oh crap, they're gonna have him lose. I really don't think that's what's going to happen. I'm just more so bothered about like what they're doing with him and as
Mm,
the champion. That's the issue that I take because I just feel like they did such a good job with him as Intercontinental Champion. And, a good chunk of that was when Triple H was overseeing it, even if it wasn't just him and Vince was still peering around or whatever, they
mhm.
still did a really good job with like making him an indestructible force as the Intercontinental
I agree with
Champion
that.
and made it into a title that we said almost rivaled the WWE and or World Heavyweight title. And so I was hoping that because they did that with him with a lesser title, with the mid-card title, that we were going to see like a replication of that as World Heavyweight Champion. Didn't have to follow the same recipe, you know what I mean? But like I just feel like they're doing such a bad job about like continuing that and it's like I don't know. I understand that I'm completely biased, but I just have had higher hopes for this, and I really hope that, assuming that he beats Jay on Saturday, I really hope that whatever they choose to do with him after that, and whatever they're going to end up having him do for the Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Mania, whatever, is good. It's solid. Like it makes sense, and it makes him look dominant in the way that he had been previously. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's just what I hope. I just want to see them do better. That's all.
We want to see. I agree. We always want to see people do better, Sarah.
Um, Richard says he feasted on mid carders. Triple H wasn't going to do the same thing with main event talent. I mean, I get it, but also they
It's
have so
different.
many people intertwined with the world heavyweight title picture right now. And I think that we're also being picky and choosy with what, because
We're
like
being
how many
very.
other main eventers will squash other main eventers or like beat main
It
eventer after main eventer after main eventer. So to say that that isn't going to happen. It's more so you're saying, or at least I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Richard, but it's more so you're saying, like, yeah, Gunther's not going to do that. Well, why? If you have the world heavyweight title on him, you consider him a face of the company, you consider him a face of your brand, of your show, and you are saying he's a main eventer. So why can't he have matches with main eventers and beat them? Why? Like that's the only way to prove that he is a dominant guy as champion. He can't just beat Jey Uso and Chad Gable and Otis and like whoever. Like he can't just keep beating
doesn't
them.
happen. That gets boring. See, then that gets boring, and then we're complaining about him just having these easy matches. You're
Well, and
like you're never gonna win.
Well, and that's not like Seth Rollins doesn't do that, Cody Rhodes doesn't do that, Roman Reigns wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? It feels
Mhm.
like that shouldn't then be the standard for Gunther. It feels more of like a slight to Gunther than anything else. But
Correct.